Thank you for tuning in. This is Watch Eric. Today's video is going to be on the apex predator of the stainless steel watch game, the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5980. Okay, so everybody knows that I am a fan of the Nautilus, especially the 5980. The thing about the chrono compared to the other models like the 5712 or the 5711 is that I feel you get a little bit more size. Thickness helps a lot, so it gives you the impression that the watch is a bit bigger. For me, I think that the 5980 is the perfect size for any watch, period. I've never heard anybody complain and say that a 5980 or even a 5711 or so on is too big. For me, I just like that little extra thickness helps out a lot how it looks on the wrist. That being said, the 5980 has always for me been an apex predator in the stainless steel game. This is way before this rise. In the last 3 years, we've seen some epic rises in the Nautiluses. I mean, we've sat there and we've watched these watches go from $38,000, which is what they used to sell for, up to almost 100. I mean, that's a big difference. But keep in mind that when they were at $38,000, a Daytona was also at 10. It's almost like they all moved up in price at the same time. Even back when they were $38,000, people were still hesitant to pay that much money for a stainless steel chrono. For me, it's one of my favorite chronos. You can't go wrong with that single register where it has both needles in one dial. For me, it was genius, balances out the whole dial, and it gives the 5980 its unique look. The steel 5980 comes in 3 colors. You can either get the black dial, the white dial, or the ever so popular blue. Me personally, I like the black and the blue. The white is nice, but there's something about it that just doesn't really do it for me. Recently, they were discontinued and the prices soared. I mean, a while back, it was actually the most undesirable out of the bunch. So I'm still not buying that they're going for crazy prices just yet. We'll have to wait and see what happens with that dial color. One of the things that I really like about the 5980 is just how understated it is. You just really can't see it, you know. To guys like us that know about watches, it stands out like a sore thumb. But to people that don't know anything about watches, it doesn't really look like much, you know? I remember one time I wore a 5980 to a happy hour where I met up with a couple of my friends, and I'm telling you, not a single person noticed anything I was wearing. At that time, they were $38,000, and for that price, I could have walked in with a rose gold Sky Dweller that the second I walked in, everybody would have seen me. I remember that my buddy, we were having a drink, and after 25 minutes of me being there goes, "Oh my God, you're wearing a 5980. That's how understated it is, and that's one thing that I like about it. I have this saying that I always use, and it's that the Rolex Daytona is for the rich man. The Patek 5980 is for the millionaire, and that's what they want. They want it to be understated and not make a lot of noise, and that's what I like about it. For me, it's almost like a weapon of sorts, you know? Whereas something that's a bit more louder and gold would be more of a firearm, this is more like killing with a knife. That's what I've always said about these watches that are understated. You're killing them without them even noticing. I have owned the 5980 steel before when times were different and they were in the mid-40s. And I'm not gonna lie, I kind of wish I would have kept it. Not so much because of the whole rise and to make a profit, but just because it's such an enjoyable watch, man. It's one of those pieces that really, when you put it on, it's a heavy hitter in stainless steel. Don't get me wrong, I recognize that there are stainless steel pieces that are heavier. Perpetual calendars, tourbillons, skeletons, I get all that. I'm referring to just the apex predator in steel of the chronos. Couple features I want to point out about the 5980 in steel is, number 1, this is probably the most comfortable bracelet. The Nautilus has one of the most comfortable bracelets I've ever worn in my life. You don't feel anything. It's so comfortable. doesn't pull any hairs, there's no sharp edges. For me, it's probably the most comfortable bracelet in the entire watch game. Another thing I want to point out is that although it's called a Nautilus and has somewhat of an aquatic theme, this watch is not for the water. If you would see the way that this top glass gets put onto this bezel, it would freak you out. It literally just goes placed right onto the bezel with a thin gasket. Me personally, this is a watch that I would refrain from using it in the water or go boating. This is a watch that's more for a yacht, not a boat. But overall, I find the 5980 incredibly versatile. You could just use it for everything. You could be dressed in a pair of jeans with a t-shirt just like I am, or with a suit. The watch is always a good fit for anything that you're wearing. So let's talk a little bit about the prices. I'm not quite sure exactly what it was that caused the prices to soar. Whether it was the fact that people started busting down these watches and putting diamonds everywhere, or whether it's just the fact that the Nautilus just blew up and people got more and more into watches and wanted to buy them more. Let's face it, it's not like Patek produces that many to begin with. That whole perfect storm between the popularity, the busting down, and the fact that they don't produce much has caused the prices to soar. So right now, if you're looking to buy a 5980 in steel, black or blue, you're gonna be easily in the $80,000 range, almost even 90. 6 or 7 months ago, they were at 100, which I personally thought was absurd. I think the correct price that this watch should be at would be maybe $65,000, but maybe I'm just wishful thinking. The days of $50,000 and $35,000 are way gone. I remember the cheapest I ever bought one and sold it was I bought it for $38,000 and sold it for $40,000. So as far as the watch game goes, it's obviously a heavy hitter. I mean, you're wearing an $80,000 steel chrono on your wrist. Even if you were ready to buy today, it's not like there's many to choose from, so it's not easily obtainable. And that's what's always made it a heavy hitter in the watch game, even back when they were $40,000. Anybody that used to say that this watch was too much money when it was $40,000 must be a slap in the face now when they see you wearing one and it's worth $80,000. So feel free to comment below how you feel about the Patek Philippe 5980 and steel. And if you like this video, please like and share. Also, subscribe to my channel.